Peace deal between Hamas and Israel appears close after the militant group agreed to parts of Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan. US President Donald Trump told Israel to stop bombing the Gaza Strip immediately after Hamas agreed to release all the remaining Israeli hostages. The militant group says other parts of the peace plan will require further consultations and negotiations. Qatar and Egypt, which have been the main mediators between Hamas and Israel, have welcomed the news. Mr. Trump says it's an historic moment.
Together, Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and so many others, so many people fought so hard. This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete. Thank you all to those great countries that helped. We were given a tremendous amount of help. Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East. And we're very close to achieving that.
The Israeli Prime Minister's office has responded, saying it's preparing for the immediate implementation of the first stage of the plan, the release of all the hostages. Our Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran has more from Jerusalem.
Hamas's statement here is significant, but it is important to stress that this is still a long way from achieving peace in Gaza. This is the yes but response which many had expected Hamas to release in response to that 20-point peace plan drafted by the US President Donald Trump. The things that Hamas is prepared to do here, the headline here is the release of the remaining Israeli hostages. 48 of them still held captive in Gaza, 20 believed to still be alive. Hamas is saying it is prepared to release all of them. The time frame may be tricky. We are already hearing from Hamas senior officials saying that 72 hours might be too difficult to achieve there. However, Hamas is saying it is prepared to release that group. This is a significant step considering Hamas had long argued for a phased release of Israeli hostages, fearing that the moment all of those Israelis were back on home soil, Israel would use that as an excuse to restart the bombardment of Gaza. The things that Hamas wants to negotiate on here are matters such as the withdrawal of Israeli troops. In the Donald Trump plan at this stage, there would be a phased and partial withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. That is very different from the immediate and total withdrawal of troops, which Hamas has long argued for. There are also issues here with the pathways to recognising and achieving a Palestinian state here. But Hamas is saying it is willing to negotiate on those issues, something which has not been said before. We do need to stress that when it comes to these negotiations, regardless of what the United States says, there is going to be a lot of pressure on Israel here, whether or not it is prepared to enter into these discussions. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has, on one instance, said that Israel would continue to have a presence within Gaza as part of any deal, something which seems to be at odds with what Hamas is demanding here of a total withdrawal of Israeli troops. The families of those Israeli hostages are urging Benjamin Netanyahu to enter into these negotiations, hopeful that this could be the moment that they get their loved ones home. So while this is the closest point, seemingly, that we have been to seeing peace in Gaza, we are still a long way away from that deal.